Welcome back. Let's find out if we've got anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy. So, Andy, what have you got?
So, still no call about the 5 p.m. thing, Greg?
Nope.
What they think of the chocolate you sent?
They were sent back.
Really? What about the Mylar balloon bouquet?
Thought it was a good idea, but saw it in the trash.
Wow, that's too bad. I'll try to find out what the deal is at my meeting tomorrow.
You have a meeting tomorrow?
Yeah, it's just a follow-up to the one I had last Friday. No big.
What's it about?
Oh, just an idea someone had about me trying something in a few months. Probably nothing.
Well, you know, maybe we can grab coffee afterwards, and I can give you some tips.
Yeah, no, maybe, but I'll probably be pretty full.
Well, I mean, it'd only maybe take 10 minutes or something. You know, we could just like talk. You know,
Yeah.
I'll buy.
All right, we'll talk tomorrow.
Is that a yes or no?
No, I have to. You know, whatever. I'm just gonna start.
All right.
I'm just feeling.
Hey, no! Don't let me interrupt.
I'm a little uncomfortable.
You're busy. I get it.
I'm a little uncomfortable right now. A little uncomfortable. Patriotic millionaires for fiscal strength or PUMFs want to pay higher taxes. Greg, you said what you hate about this group is that they call themselves patriotic, which means that if you don't want to pay higher taxes, you're not patriotic. Yet, thank God no group or political parties ever wrapped themselves in the American flag before.
Yeah, but you know what? These are people that aren't patriotic.
Really? Patriot Act.
Yeah, but at least that was good.
Was it, Greg?
Yes.
Was it?
I don't know.
Rick, you said as far as you're concerned, send the millionaires prepaid envelopes, let them send in their money. Even better, there's a website you can go to called treasurydirect.gov, and another one also called pay.gov. Page on those websites called Gift Contributions to Reduce Debt Held by the Public. You can donate money to help the government pay off the debt.
I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me.
Absolutely. No reason to raise taxes.
You know, there's a really easy way to do it. Just drive around town, find a sinkhole, and dump all your money in it.
There's that, too. Yep. Also
you
good.
give it for student loans.
There you go. Only if they'll sleep with you.
That was a great expression.
Brooke, you said if these people really want to help, they should donate their money to nonprofits, be charitable, whatever.
Like the Children's Rights Institute, 501c3, tax deductible.
Right, yeah. No, I get that. What you don't understand, though, patriotic millionaire Lisa Gottlieb, who was a producer of Dirty Dancing, says, quote, "We all give to charity, but that's not the same as creating a more equitable society."
Well, what kind of return are you going to get on your money when you give it to the government? They're obviously not going to spend it efficiently. So I just think it's kind of BS.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Brooke, maybe you could help me out on this. Do you think that when Ms. Gottlieb was producing Dirty Dancing, she shared her salary with the Best Boy and the Key Grip and the other below-the-line people, you know, in the interest of creating a more equitable society?
Maybe she shared a lot more.
Well, you know something about it we don't.
Hey, Andy,
What am I supposed to say to that?
the key phrase in that was equity. They've replaced the word equality
with equity.
And I think that's very important for people at home to note. Might want to write it down.
Okay.
No, it's like we're all created equal. Equity is not in the picture.
That's a great point.
I know.
I love how Glenn Beck urges people to DVR the show right at the beginning. We just tell people to write stuff down. Get out one of them pens.
Write it down, America.
Be sure to fax any of your ideas to us.
By the way, on the patrioticmillionaires.org website, there's a page where you can donate to them. So you can give money to a bunch of millionaires who want to give their money to the government.
Yeah, and the money that you give to them will probably be for the overhead to run their stupid website and their stupid press releases and their stupid little get-togethers at their Tony little hotels, restaurants in Brentwood.
Someone's not getting invited.
I just haven't got a phone call.
Yeah. Peter Thiel says we're in an education bubble. Yes, I think Thiel's right that a lot of people go to college who might be better off served by not going. But Massa made a really good point. People with degrees generally earn more money than people who don't have them.
Is that? But can you compare? Can you actually prove that if you look at somebody who starts working and learns a trade or?
Well, okay, here over their working life, a high school graduate can expect to average to make $1.2 million over their working life. Someone with a bachelor's degree, $2.1 million, master's degree, $2.5 million, doctoral degree, $3.4 million.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the point is that not everyone is going to be Mark Zuckerberg. Not everyone is going to be able to make it. And I think it's just about investing in yourself and making the right choices. So,
you know, while Andy was reading that, Rick Folbaum was thinking, I make more than that in a year.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And I didn't even finish high school.
Exactly. I didn't get out of the 8th grade.
Everyone talks about Zuckerberg as this example. First of all, he came up with Facebook while he was at Harvard.
Yes.
If he hadn't gone to Harvard, he probably wouldn't have come up with Facebook and wouldn't be a billionaire.
True.
Interesting.
Yes. Bill, your entire input on this story was to make fun of a billionaire's rugby shirt. Good to have you back, buddy.
He brought his A game.
The way I look at it is if you're a billionaire, your skin's not that thin. Second of all, my money manager told me to make fun of more billionaires. So I'm on my way.
So this is all a strategy.
Exactly. It's an investment.
I respect that.
And you're not coming along.
Okay. Carbon neutral bra. Greg, you mentioned that Marks & Spencer will be making the bra in a Sri Lanka eco factory where energy has been reduced by 1/3. Brooke brought up the excellent point that they have horrible child labor in Sri Lanka. In fact, I did some digging. The way they reduce energy by 1/3, they only allow the children in the factory to breathe 10 times an hour.
What?
Yeah.
Monsters.
Yep.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
You're waiting for me to come up with something.
Just goes to show you.
Somewhere with that. I
Sri
thought you were going somewhere
Lanka.
with that.
They're the, we owe you a thanka.
I was about to say I was expecting a rhyme.
You were. Believe me, I was searching for one.
Yeah. Washable tracking devices being put in hotel towels and stuff. Brooke, do you really still hotel towels? Towels that have been used by like thousands of different people?
Are you asking me to make a first-person public admission of theft
Well, you did
on
that already.
television?
couple times, if I recall.
I'm not going to confirm it.
All right. It's just gross. Anyway, Bill, I'm with you. Bill, I'm with you. I think this is a scam.
Thank you.
I don't think they're really doing this.
Absolutely not. All those signs are scams too. Break and enter away, America.
Yeah, I don't think a hotel losing $16,000 a year is going to be offset by having to sew all these things in and whatever.
Perhaps a hotel in Sri Lanka, but nothing in Miami.
Yeah.
But don't you, this worked, and I found this out many times, with library books when I used to go to college, leaving with books. Remember they put the little aluminum strips in there?
Sure.
Until you learned how to take them out?
Sure. I mean, no.
That's the first thing you learn is to take them out.
Wait a second. Stealing towels is one thing, but we're depriving the education of our fellow peers at college when we steal such things, gentlemen. Fie on you.
It disgusts me when I heard about people doing this.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
As long as we're
Glad I brought it up. Hey, look what I'm doing.
Hey, look, 3 shots.
Yeah.
Man, I'm tan.
Can I go now?
I guess you can.
All right.
We got more fun stuff to do without you. Besides, he can't be here because we have a Catholic priest coming on.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up, does it feel good to be pretty awesome? Up next, Rick Fulbaum discusses his new book, I'm Pretty Awesome, and It Feels Good. Father Jonathan has a new book out. I bought the English version, but I still prefer it in the original Latin. Does the moon piss you off? Should I add a second sunroom to my Hummer limo? Was Millie better than Vanilli? Well, my next guest doesn't care about any of those things, but he does want to help. That is, he wants you to let the almighty guy upstairs help you. And he explains how in his new book. It came out on Tuesday, right in time for Holy Week. It's called God Wants You Happy, From Self-Help to God's Help. We welcome back to the program Fox News contributor, Father Jonathan Morris. It's been a long time.
I know. You know what? So much has changed.
Like what?
Well, you wear a tie.
Yeah?
I guess that's true.
You guys notice that? He wears a tie. Mm-hmm. Bill's got some scruff going on.
That's actually...
Too burned to shave. Yeah. Too burned to shave. And nothing because of hellfire. Just because I went on vacation.
Yes.
I'm scorched.
Hellfire.
Yeah. Speaking of hellfire, your book. Why'd you write it? You hate self-help books. See, I hate self-help. Do you hate self-help?
You know what? I believe that there is what I call in this book, natural mechanisms for self-improvement. Mm-hmm. But those are God-given. The incentive to get off the couch and do something. Mm-hmm. Okay? The idea that I actually can make a choice to ask for forgiveness. Those are natural mechanisms that we have, what we could call the natural law, that are invitations to self-improvement. But doing the right thing over and over again is not enough for happiness.
Yeah.
And that's what I take on in the whole second half of this book.
My problem with self-help, and I was immersed in it when I worked at Men's Health and Prevention, was that it was all about feeling good. And the only way you could, and by feeling good, it was like your self-esteem. But self-esteem not tied to achievement.
Well, the reason I think, it's not just a question of achievement, I think, Greg, but most of the self-help that we see when you go into a bookstore, you go into Barnes and Nobles, and you see the self-help shelf, which is huge.
I'm usually naked, but go ahead.
What does that have to do with anything?
Just something I do at Barnes & Noble. But go ahead. There's nobody,
It's how he helps himself.
Okay.
Father, there's nobody in there anymore. I can do whatever I want.
Okay, well, maybe because you're naked and they leave. Okay, but anyway, you go into that self-help shelf. Okay, wow, I can't believe I just said that. And you know what? Most of that industry has completely separated itself from any connection with God. And so it's, you are the center of your own your own universe. You are the source of your own joy. I don't believe that stuff. I believe that's a bunch of, I mean, I can't say this
you can
right, on late night television.
Yeah,
like
don't
this,
use
right?
use the S word like you do in the green word.
But-
green room. What I ask you though is, like, you talk about happiness, but I mean, isn't it a lot of happiness isn't necessarily something you're going to find in life, right? Isn't that the mistake?
God doesn't promise us that we're going to be rich. He doesn't promise us that we're never going to have any problems. He doesn't but he does promise us, first of all, heaven, right? If we make a choice for the good and we make a choice for him. Secondly, I believe that happiness has different levels, right? There's happiness of, hey, I just bit into a great ice cream cone. Okay, or I went to a Yankees game with Bill, and he put me in the absolutely last seat.
Yeah, he does
the
it.
ballpark.
Do you realize how much money we saved so we get drunk?
Yes, exactly.
He actually invited me to the Yankees game, and we were in that very last seat of the ballpark.
He does
I'm sure they were playing a really good team like the Royals.
Exactly.
All
And that
right,
was-
they were hard
okay,
tickets to come by.
So in other words, a certain type of happiness, but there's another type, and that's beatitude. Beatitude, I believe, is genuine happiness in which we are at peace with ourselves and we are at peace with God.
You know,
there's nothing more beautiful than that.
I want to go to your biggest fans, the robots who have read your book.
Well,
The first robot has a question for
so
you.
in other words, you didn't?
Yes. Well, I never got a copy. The robots did, though.
Hi, Father. I just downloaded your book into my hard drive. It's much better than I thought it would be. In the book, you try to disassociate the church with shame and guilt. But what if shame and guilt are my favorite emotions?
And what a backhanded compliment. It's much better than I thought it would be.
Robots are
that
mean-spirited.
particular robot is
knowing
not cool.
you, it's actually better than I thought it would be.
What's wrong with shame and guilt?
Shame and guilt. You know what? I think there's two types of guilt. There's guilt that is, and we were talking about this a little bit, you know, Jewish guilt and Catholic guilt. There's what we could call godly sorrow for our sins. Right? If I punch you, Greg,
Yes.
you would want me to have guilt. Otherwise, I'd be a sociopath.
What if I enjoy
Right?
the fact that you hit me?
Well, that's another problem altogether, okay? But I should still feel...
Right.
In other words, godly sorrow for having abused my freedom. But there's another type of guilt which is not good, and that is, oh my gosh, God is a cop, and he's going to get me, and he's going to... That's not good.
That's the guilt, though, that you're given in Catholic schools. I mean, that's the guilt. You know, like, if you don't do this, God isn't going to like you. But, you know.
Stop blaming your
School?
low intelligence, okay, right? Like, the fact is, okay, maybe it's presented that way in some places and in the past, but forget that.
Yeah.
If God is our Father and He's a loving Father and He is one who is close to us and have a personal relationship, think of the very, very best father you could or best mother you could possibly have.
Barbara Billingsley.
Okay, well, I shouldn't have asked you that.
I want to go to. I got one more. I want to
Please,
go.
help us.
This is clear.
No one's ever asked
One more.
me
I got
that.
one more question from your biggest fan,
man.
robot. Go ahead.
Hi, Father. Great seeing you again. Loved the book. Although I wish there were more pictures. Anyway, it seems like you want to show people that being happy can be simple. But isn't that demeaning to people who find that happiness is very elusive?
Oh, another proof that these robots are smarter than the producers and the hosts of this show. You know what? Happiness is not easy, but it is simple. It's not easy. In other words, because we are imperfect creatures and because we are inclined to evil as well as to good, it's
Speak
not
for
always
yourself.
easy, but it's simple. It's do what you know you should do and then end up in a relationship, a personal relationship with God who gives us purpose and understanding of who we are and why the heck we're on this earth.
I got to.
That's simple.
Yes, and I want you to send me your book because I had this scheduled for like 2 weeks, and I never got the book. And
I told my publisher, send it to everybody who can read.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, and on that note, we must thank you. But the book is called God Wants You Happy. It's now available. It's time for a break. And remember, the new Red Eye podcasts are here. There's a new one every day. Catch them. FoxNewsRadio.com. They're awesome. Just click on Red Eye. If you don't do it, you'll be missing out on something awesome. Tonight, we talked about Bill's vacation. It was great. Well, it was the opposite of slick while stealing a Bic. Yes, it's the pen theft story that's dominating all other pen theft stories today. Watch my favorite president in the world of the Czech Republic during a press conference as reported on some Czech TV show.
Presidente de la República de Chile, señor Sebastián Piñera Echenique.
Muy buenos días. Quiero en primer lugar dar una cordial y cariñosa bienvenida al presidente Václav Klaus y a la delegación de amigos de la República Checa que nos visita. La verdad es que la República Checa ha tenido siempre una gran participación, presencia en nuestro país. Por de pronto, miren nuestras banderas. Compartimos los mismos colores, pero compartimos mucho más que eso.
Dobrou noc.
Good night indeed. A presidential spokesman later told Reuters that President Václav Klaus, quote, had a right to take the pen, which presidents and their delegations get on state visits. The pen and the president are now living in Vermont, where what they do is legal. I love that guy. He's a great president. He's the only guy that talks straight on global warming, I got to say. Did you ever hear his stuff?
He's close to senile.
Just shut up. We'll close things out. I'm the only person that cares. We'll close things out with a post-game wrap-up from TV's Andy Levy. And why was the father so mean to me today?
Well, you deserve it.
I did not. To see clips of recent shows, go to foxnews.com/redeye. Don't forget to catch Andy on the Willis Report Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Business Network. That'll be fun. Coming up tomorrow on the next Red Eye, we got return appearances from Democratic strategist Crystal Ball and Daily Caller columnist Jedediah Bila. Time to go back to TV's Andy Levy for the post-game wrap-up.
Thanks, Greg. Hey, Brooke, you checking out a concert Saturday night?
Yeah, the Swedish power metal band Sabaton is playing this weekend in New York, and they're just awesome because their songs are about episodes in military history. So yeah, let's go.
Excellent.
I'm going to see Floor tonight, which means by the time they're watching this, I will have already seen this.
Yeah. Hey, Mazza, last time you were on, you promoted your Twitter account. And you said that you would reply to anyone who tweeted you. Did you?
I did, and there was I got 15 new followers. It was very incredible. So I know a lot of people are watching the show. So
50 people.
Yeah. 15. And I did respond. It was 15, not 50. 15. So tweet me, Mazza Who.
Okay.
I will answer.
All right.
We'll fix that in edit.
15,000. Wow.
Wow. Well, that's that's the Red Eye Bunk guys that we've discussed, and apparently we're a little out of practice because it's usually higher.
Yeah.
15,000.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, Rick, is it true you won a major dance competition last weekend?
If by major you mean Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Dancing with the Stars, then yes, I did. Performed at my old high school, fundraising event. It was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Is there tape?
How many competitors were there?
There were like 16 couples.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. A couple of ringers, too. There were some Broadway dancers we beat.
Really?
Yes.
Right.
You truly are the full bomb.
Bye.
How much time do we have?
Time for you to go.
What? 20 hard?
Just go.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm
You
just
go now.
No, you stay.
No, you
I
go.
go.
I'm not staying.
No,
You're going.
you go. You
No,
stay.
You
You
go.
stay.
I am not
go.
staying.
All right.
I am not staying. You go.
Brooke, Bill, Masa, Rick, great show. I'm Greg.